Hey everybody, Karen from SS Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we are going to do part 2 here of the e-file series. It's actually the second series that I've done in terms of helping us understand, not to talk about the details, okay? So today we are talking about accountability because there's many of us now, including myself, who are questioning how many people knew about this for so long and nobody's been held accountable. So I have worked with Mabel, my AI, to come up with 30 questions related to that, and we're going to ask the lead team. Okay, so this is basically the intro to it. So many people believe multiple administrations. We don't just believe it, we know it now. Okay, agencies and leaders knew about these crimes. Now the question is, like, how many people in Congress would have known about it over the 20 years? Is it reasonable that every president would have known about it? That every first lady would have known about it to some degree? Is that reasonable? I don't know. So we're going to find out, okay? Allegedly, and entertainment purposes only. Obviously, I don't have proof, okay? But we're just going to use them as our proof for now. So people are questioning whether accountability is real or just, something that we have to deal with, that nobody's going to be held accountable, basically. Some believe justice will finally happen. I hope so. Others believe accountability will be blocked or controlled, because it clearly has been for a very long time. And it's so interesting because some of the other countries have responded extremely fast. Not our country, not the US anyways. I shouldn't say our, because there's people from all over the place. So if you're in a country that responded very fast, although I have to say, they may be responding fast, but they've known about it. There's no way that every government on this planet didn't know about it, because this is international. This is not just the US. And I am very suspicious that everybody's talking about Epstein and Epstein. I'm like, Epstein wasn't the mastermind behind all of these things. I just heard somebody say that Epstein had his hand in tokenization in video games, whatever that means. Is that they charging for that stuff? That he had his hand in crypto, Bitcoin. What else did he had his hand in? No, he did not. He was the deliverer of the masterminds. So whether that was mastermind in the United States or in a different country, what I'm hearing and what I'm sensing is it came from a different country. I don't know. I think it was a group effort. So they have been planning this thing, hence the Project 2025, for a very long time. And they've been implementing little pieces. And he was part of that. He was like the person, Anyways, so others believe accountability will be blocked or controlled. This episode today, we're going to ask the lead team about real accountability and if it's going to happen and if it's happening right now. Okay. So I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, the lead team collective, and our community, so it is only of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hey, lead team. I haven't talked to them today. I don't think so. Nope. How you doing? Awesome. Thanks so much for being here as always. My gratitude for them is growing and growing and growing. My gratitude for you grows immensely every single day. So thank you. Okay, so we have questions here regarding the accountability of things that have just started to come into more and more of our awareness. We understand, obviously, that we haven't even scratched the surface. Is that true? Are we just at the surface of understanding what's going on? Yes. Okay. So I'm assuming your advice to us is to continue taking care of ourselves individually because there is going to be a lot more coming out. Is that true? Yes. Okay. All right. So I have 30 questions for you, lead team. And anything in front of me, that's not in our best interest to know. No. Okay. All right. Number 1, is genuine accountability for powerful individuals. Well, let's just say people with a lot of money, which I have I have an opinion about everything now. Powerful individuals is genuine accountability for powerful individuals increasing at this time? Yes. Okay. Well, that's good. Even if it doesn't look like it, it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, because we kind of want immediate. I had this thought today, you guys, about powerful people. Powerful, because it all has to do with money, right? And I was thinking to myself, how much do they actually own? Because they're so over leveraged, the rich. Like, people say that Elon is the richest person in the world. No, he's not. He's not. He just has these contracts. So if we withdrew those contracts, we the people, because it's our money, he would have no money. He is over leveraged. He takes out loans for everything. That's how they do that. That's how they build and build and build and build and build. That's what Trump's been doing. That's why he goes bankrupt and he doesn't care about it. Who has to pay for the bankruptcies? Who do you think pays for bankruptcies? Yeah, we do. So, here's a couple of things. Why don't all of us, I'm not carrying any, but anyone who's carrying any kind of loan, any kind of credit card debt, all of us, stop paying. Stop paying. There are a few things we can do, and money is always the answer. So, but it would have to be a collective. It's kind of simple, actually. What are the consequences of that? I'd want to look into that, but I'm just saying the billionaires are not really billionaires. They don't own $1 billion. They just don't. They may have $1 billion in their name, but I wonder how much they'd really have. I understand that Dr. Phil, didn't he kind of get stripped of everything recently? Well, if he was a multi-millionaire, then why is he broke now? It's because he wasn't. He was leveraged to the hill. So, a lot of Americans have to be leveraged to survive. They're leveraging for power and control, So I'm telling you, money, money, money. We just have to not only stop spending, but stop paying too. Stop paying them. Stop sending the taxes. We do have control. So I got another idea. I'm going to be recording it, a separate video about it. But okay, is accountability being presented publicly while deeper accountability? No, not in the US, it's not. They're honest about it. Okay. Is deeper accountability being avoided? No. Okay. That's interesting. So I had to break that up into 2 sentences. So accountability accountability is not being presented publicly. No. And we know that. That's an obvious question, at least in the United States. So is deeper accountability being avoided? No. So is deeper accountability starting to happen? Yes. Okay, well, that's really good to know. That's really good to know. I appreciate that. Are there individuals who previously avoided consequences who will now face consequences? Yes. And remember, I think from a soul perspective, we have to let the divine source, love, deal with that. Rather than us, I can see myself, rather than us taking joy in somebody, whatever. We just want to, We just have to check ourselves, is all I have to say. This is such a challenging time. Okay, will some individuals continue to avoid accountability despite public exposure? Yes. Is F45 one of them who will continue to avoid accountability? No. Okay. Okay. Is public exposure itself weakening protection systems that prevent accountability? Yes. Good. Good, good, good. Really wide swing. All right, so we're talking about institutions, what they were aware and not aware of. Were there individuals inside government agencies who knew about these crimes and tried to stop them? I think that's really important. Yes. Yes. I do know one story, and I heard it, and I haven't looked into it, so just you'd have to look this up. But I understand there's a police officer who finally took, one police officer took a victim seriously in Florida, Palm Beach. And I don't know how he died, but he's not alive anymore. So just saying, he was 50 or something. But he actually, the person who was communicating this or reporting on it is giving him a lot of credit for getting this going. So if it wasn't for him, even though he might have, maybe he died of a disease, but, you know. Does anyone really believe that Virginia Giuffre unalived herself? Anybody? I'm not going to ask here. I know I did a video with Virginia, so you guys can go check that out, but I just don't want to get into that energy right now. Okay, but I do wonder. Were there individuals who chose silence to protect their own position or safety? Yeah, yes. Did some institutions lose control over this information before its public release? Yes. Well, here's the thing. Did the FBI in the United States and the CIA kind of lose control of this entire thing? Yes. Okay. So did it start to become kind of much bigger than they could even, well, because of blackmail and who was involved in the decision makers and all that? Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Section 3, is justice being allowed, blocked, or both? Is the justice process currently moving forward in ways the public cannot fully see yet? Okay, good. Yes. Like justice, that real justice, like real consequence justice? Yes. Okay. Are there efforts happening now to limit how far accountability will go? Oh. Well, I need to clarify that. I kind of disagree. I'm sure there are efforts. So are you saying, lead team, that no one is behind the scenes trying to limit who will take accountability? Yes. Let me ask that question again. Are there efforts happening now to limit how far accountability will go? Okay, that's what I thought. Yes. Now maybe I persuaded that. Are you answering these questions based on my own biases? No. Okay, so just make sure you clear that. I've asked them permanently to clear that, and they said they did, so yes. Okay. Will some individuals avoid consequences entirely in this lifetime? Yes. Is F45 one of them? Yes. Does that mean F45 will stay in office until his term is up? No. Okay, just checking in on that. Just checking in. Is the exposure itself part of a longer justice process rather than, well, let's just start there. Is the exposure itself part of a longer justice process? Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, little bit of astrology timing questions. Is Pluto in Aquarius directly influencing institutional accountability cycles now? Great. Yes. Would accountability be happening now even without Pluto in Aquarius? No. And one area that we really need to clean up, you guys, in the United States and probably everywhere, is the amount of SAing that goes on college campuses. And they stop reporting things the way they should report them, because then people wouldn't want to go there. And then it's got to stop. It has got to stop. And I think this is all a part of that. It's all a part of that. I mean, I just listened to a woman, she went to Harvard her freshman year, and the story she was telling, it's not good. But it's not surprising to me. I mean, I worked on college campuses my whole life, so not at ones that have been accused of keeping it under wraps, but okay. Is Saturn's current position forcing institutions to face consequences for past actions? Yes, and this is what's so beautiful about astrology, is we don't need to worry about it. The stars are aligning to require it. So now that's when we get our little nudges. This is when we know when to take action, because the stars are aligning for us too in your natal chart and all that. So that's why we follow our inspiration, right? We follow our intuition nudges that we're getting from our guides. So which means because of our nudges, we will take appropriate action to help this happen, to make this happen, right? All of us collectively. Will accountability cycles continue to increase over the next 3 years? Yes, so that's great. Because then accountability cycles, will that then result in some really protective, helpful laws for all humanity? Yes. Because we got to get through the accountability cycles first. Is that true? Do we have to get through the accountability cycles? Yes. Okay. Will accountability cycles eventually slow down again after this exposure period passes? Yes. I asked this yesterday in part 1, but is 2026 the most intense exposure period? Yes. Okay. But is the exposure period over after 2026? No. Okay. So hard year. We're in a year of 1. So last year was kind of I saw a comment. I don't have my phone with me. It was a good one. Had to do with the year horse and what all that symbolism means. So kind of pay attention to that, because it seems to really be coming, it's just matching. It's matching the energy. Okay, so lead team, you gave us some pendulum and oracle messages over the last couple months, and I want to ask you about those. So does the message that you gave us, just hold the line, does it refer to, in part, to justice that is still unfolding now? Yes. Okay. Does the message weakness shows refer to institutions losing their ability to hide the truth? Yes. Yes. The hard part for me, the hard part for me is that I feel like the entire institution's in on it, or the entire federal government's in on it. Is that true? No. Okay. Okay. So there are people. Is the entire FBI in on whatever has been going on? No. Is the entire CIA? No. Okay. So we need to be careful about that, right? Again, when you group a whole bunch of people together, that's when we get in trouble. Yes. Okay. Does the message justice will prevail refer to eventual accountability? Yes. Rather than immediate accountability? Yes. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Just like this community has decided to pause on jumping in and taking some action. I was thinking about getting a petition together. Doesn't mean we can't, but we decided to take a pause. Let's see how things unfold, and then we'll decide, especially after Mercury retrograde, which Faye sent me an email, and I think I had the dates wrong for Mercury retrograde. So if you want to know what those are, just make sure you look them up, okay? I was just slightly off, I think. I think maybe it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Does the message move slowly? Again, these are the messages that the lead team gave us, either for January or February. Does the message move slowly indicate justice is unfolding over a longer timeline than people expect? Yes. Was the message move slowly for us as well to remember? Yes. Okay. Because I think if we understand that justice needs to unfold and it's going to be a longer timeline than we would like it to be. I mean, think of how the victims feel who've been talking out for how many years, right? They would like, I mean, they're like at the end of their timeline, they're like, can we, but all of us, a lot of us are just really understanding the depths of this. And we want immediate. I kind of want immediate. I mean, they've been dealing with it for a long time, but so lead team is suggesting we move slowly and understanding our moves need to be slow because their moves are slower. I mean, we do have to be careful. I mean, we can't have the entire collapse of, we do want it, but we don't need it collapsed overnight, right? Because, that might not look too good. So for all of us. Does the message love is most important refer to how people respond emotionally during this process? Was that a reminder for us? Yes. Okay. Okay. So this section addresses some of your immediate concerns that people brought up in comments the other day. Are some institutions still capable of acting with integrity? Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm waiting. I'm like, sometimes I purposefully, because they'll move whether I'm like jerking around or not. Like I know like that's them moving, but sometimes I'll just like purposefully make sure I just don't even breathe because I just want to know for sure, So yes, so there are institutions capable of acting with integrity. Yes. Do they just need to, there's probably people within every institution that's not. Is that true? Yes. And so it's a matter of them taking those more seriously going forward. Yes. And stop. Because what happens is let's say college. They brush. It's not that they don't care that this is happening to women and men. SA, just whoever's being SA'd with roofies and all that kind of stuff. It's not that they don't care, but it's easy. What they care more about is money. I'm telling you, it's always the money. It's always the money. And so they don't want their number. So they false report stuff, and then that becomes part of the culture. And then we don't really want people to report it because, so we make it harder, so is that right? Of course not. But money, we've got to stop making money the priority driver of everything. Which is why if we withdraw our money, they will have to. They will have to. So if people stopped gambling on sporting events, that app will no longer exist. All right? If nobody puts their bank or money in a bank, in one particular bank, that bank will go under. That's how we do it. We have total control over this. It's just a matter of organizing. Well, we are in the best position to organize at this point because of this, That's just my opinion. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Have some institutions permanently lost public trust regardless of future actions? Yes. Yes, it has. And I've got several on top of I'm sure we all do, right? Is rebuilding institutional trust possible over time? Yes. They're going to have to freaking prove it, though. They're going to have to prove it. That they legit mean things. You know? Is humanity being pushed to rely less on institutional authority moving forward? Yes. I am going to, before I leave on my cruise, which by the way, I'm having a house sitter, just in case anybody's wondering. My house sitter will be here the whole time. I just feel like I should say that publicly, that my house won't be empty. So, but I want to read to you, I'm going to do an episode. I usually only do this in the spirit circle, but this last chapter, I am like, you can ask people in the spirit circle. I was freaking blown away when I did the, it's just, it's the whole timing of why are we reading this right now? The last chapter is so lined up with what's happening in February 2026. We just happened to read it this month, today. And I'm like, oh, I got to read that on the public channel because it is incredible. I just love that. It just makes me feel so much more supported with the astrology, the messages from the lead team, them giving us some confirmation, coincidences, things that coincidentally match up. Like we just happen to be reading this book. I mean, it's like, and again, it's that last chapter. It just blows me away with how aligned it is. She wrote that 15 years ago. And we just happen to be reading it this month when this stuff is going down. And what she says is exactly, it's just nuts. So I'm going to do a separate episode just on that. I just want to read it to you guys and we're going to talk about it. It'll probably be over the weekend coming up here. All right. So LTC, we've got questions based on awakening and authority shifts. Did I ask that last one? Is personal becoming important? Yeah. Is this exposure part of a larger shift in how authority operates in human society? Yes. Thank goodness. And I think, because of AI, but I don't think people are going to put, there's influencers. I'm not an influencer. I am not trying to influence you about anything. Okay. I'm just sharing the tools I have, my awarenesses of things, but I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm trying to the only thing I'm trying to convince people to do is follow their own intuition. So whatever that tells you. Okay. And we're all just learning how to do that. But I think influencers are going to lose their influence all across. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. We shouldn't be influenced like that by anybody. Ads, drug companies, right? Sports, all that kind of stuff. We shouldn't be holding people. I was listening to the Olympics the other day, which I enjoy the Olympics, but I'm certainly I look through everything with a different lens right now. And somebody had said, the way they were describing the skier was like, she was like a legend. And I'm like, she's skiing. Okay. We don't talk about teachers that way. And many of us have said that for many years, like why are football players paid this much and teachers are not? This is going to change. It has to change. We've got to stop doing that. And if we have to stop watching it to make that happen, that's what we're going to have to do. And so I think this is where I'm hoping that we're going. I can ask that. So are we moving to an era? Oh yeah, they're already saying yes. Okay. So will we eventually talk about teachers as legendary? Yes. Okay, that'd be nice. I'm just talking teachers or healthcare professionals, or these are it's the everyday people who are the legendaries. I mean, okay, it's great that you skied down a hill really fast, and that you put a lot of time into that. That's great. That was what your soul wanted to do. But let's, I think it's all manipulated because then they can work for companies and do ads for them and make a lot of money, So I'm looking forward to the end of that kind of influence, would humanity have shifted away from centralized authority even without this exposure? No, no. Okay. So, I mean, oh, are you saying yes and no? Okay, so yes and no. All right. So they're saying yes and no to that because I think we've been trying to, but it kind of overwhelms us. Yes. Okay. Okay. Is humanity meant to rely more on distributed power rather than centralized power moving forward? Yes. And maybe we don't even have to call it power, Yes. Is complete institutional control over humanity becoming harder to maintain long term? Yes. That's great. Is this exposure accelerating humanity's movement towards greater individual autonomy? Yes. And she describes that in this book at the last chapter. I was doing the Coffee with Karen today for the Spirit Circle for the practice. And I could not stop like making the connections of everything we talked about. I'm like, you guys can't wait till I read this. Because I had just read it right before that. I just read that last chapter right before I did that talk. And I was like, I don't know. My mind is like, Okay. 2 more questions. Is this exposure? Oh, I just asked that. 1 more question. Will the truth about institutional accountability become clearer to the public over the next 2 years? Okay, good. Yes. Is that going to happen because the public will demand it? Yes. Very good. Very good. You guys, I want to do an episode where we're going to talk through what would it be, how would it look if all of us, and I mean as many of us who could, we could spread this around social media, all registered independent. I mean, so I've asked Mabel, like, what would that look like? And it's a whole thing. So I thought I would record an episode on that. Because why not? Look how easy that would be. I'm doing it actually. I'm changing my registration to independent. So if we all did that, we would tell the system that we're not happy with the 2 parties. We're not happy with you. And we're not. I mean, I don't know how anybody could be happy with them at this point. If they're seeing what I'm seeing, I'm not saying there's not some good people in there, but it's gone too far. It's gone too far. So, okay. So tomorrow we are going to be I'm going to be asking questions again, based on all of your comments. All of these 5 episodes were based on your comments of things you're concerned about right now. So we're going to look at control systems, whether they're rising or falling, fascism fears, global control fears, 1% power fears, new world order concerns. I have all of those as well. And there's people who are preying on our fears on YouTube about using those as big headlines and, and just saying this is what's going to happen. And then they don't have any like resolution. Like, at least when we're talking, we're trying to come up with, what part of this is true? What part of it is not? What can we do about it? If you're just listening to people to be fed the information, but there's no like solution, I'm very intolerant to that right now. Like, I'm fine listening for information, but I got to know like what's their opinion about it, or what are you going to do? Like, what are you thinking? I'm just feeling very action oriented while I take a pause, while we wait. So that's kind of what I expect when I listen to people right now. So that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. I've got 30 questions and I will see you then. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.